Morning everybody, Mark Ferrasci with Protect Dog Training. And we're just going to yak the screen this morning, talk a little bit about things that aren't dog training related. This is about our society in general and what's going on with the coronavirus. I was trying to tell Tina from the very beginning when I saw this thing happening, and she was lamenting the fact the press were hyping it up and they're all out to get Trump, and it's bullshit. Reality and truth is that yes, there is a certain part of our society that's a little bit more educated and worried about reality. This stuff is exponential. So in other words, 2 adds up to 4, 4 adds up to 8, 8 adds up to 16, and exponentially just goes up the line. So for the first in California, where I'm at, in our county, we're lucky so far we haven't had any cases. I think we've got 1, maybe 2 cases. 1 that I heard about, and I'm guessing 2. But so in a general sense, I watched it slowly but surely in California go up from 75 to 150, and then I started watching the exponential. Now it was 250, and now we're up to close to 500 in our area. So we only still have 5 deaths, so that's a good thing. And we are in a low area as far as what's been started so far. But my fear right now is, is one, the topsy-turvy of our economy based on what's going on. People are panic buying, and they're in the stores and they're raiding the shelves and they're buying everything they possibly can, hoarding and that kind of thing. Those people are usually a little bit less educated, believe it or not. I hate to say that, but that's a fact. And they are responding out of fear and out of panic. And that disrupts our whole system as far as trying to keep the shelves stocked and keep things in order. You go in, you can't find anything because people are buying it all out. And like Trump said yesterday, 3 times the amount of buying. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. There isn't really any major panic out there. I watched yesterday. I went to the store for the first day yesterday and kind of I needed to shop, but I also was curious to see what the people were, how they're carrying themselves. And I saw a lot of carts that were packed full. And I noticed the breakfast frozen goods were going real heavy. One guy went and bought a pack of frozen hash browns. And I looked at it and I said, that's a pretty big pack. And he buys 2 of them. And I'm going, yeah, that's because of the panic buying. He probably generally wouldn't have bought 2. He would have bought 1. So you watch the shelves, all the paper goods are gone. Toilet paper, God knows why they're buying toilet paper, but all the water is gone. There's no water on the shelves, and things are real tight. Even Chewy.com right now is backed up. You can't even get anything delivered to you because everything's all kind of screwed up in our normal flow of our supply lines, because of this panic type of behavior. The other thing I noticed was that it was palpable in the air. You could kind of sense the stress, and it was really, to be honest with you, the first day that I felt anxiety and stress by what's going on in the environment, by walking in there and seeing the empty shelves and seeing everybody having all their carts packed full and knowing that this wasn't normal behavior. It put me on edge. I really felt something in my stomach that really felt like a knot in my stomach. I didn't feel comfortable at all. There was people out in the parking lot, and as normal things, birds of a feather flock together. So there was a bunch of Oriental folks, Asian folks over on one corner by McDonald's in the parking lot, and then there was another group over here, and then the transients and the homeless people were kind of preying on things. You can definitely sense and feel the underbelly of the anxiety that's out there. And this is going to get worse because we haven't even reached our peak yet. We've got to reach a peak, and they're trying to, like they're talking about, squashing that line where they keep it to go for a longer period of time so they don't overtax our health system. It's very smart. I'm lucky enough in regards to being able to do the social distancing where I'm out here in the boonies, and so my closest neighbor is in a pretty good distance away from me. The houses aren't packed on top of themselves. I don't live in an urban area where you're going to be mass transit and all that, where those people are trying to get to work in New York. That's going to spread a lot more in those environments because they're a lot more packed in like sardines. So in that regards, I'm a little safer. I'm already talked Tina into it and showed her enough now that she's starting to talk about keeping social distance and just hunkering down for a good month or so. but you still have human behavior. You still have my normal habits, my normal behaviors. Those are when I really, like right now I'm on my way, I'm driving, I'm going to Costco. I need to have dog food. I called yesterday, they only had one pallet down of 40 in stock, and they were already down to 31 sold. So like the lady told me, by the time I get down there, they'd be sold out. And she was probably right, so I didn't even try. So right now it's 10 o'clock, I just got done with my kennel work, and my dogs are all fed and kennels are clean, and I'm heading to Costco to get gas, because I need gas. And I heard the lines were real bad yesterday. But still, that's less expensive gas, so I'm heading for that. And then I need to buy dog food. So I'm crossing my fingers they have dog food. Instead of calling them and sitting there on hold, I'm going to just go ahead and make the trip. So that puts me out in society, because everybody and their brother is congregating. You know, see how busy that Costco gets. It's a lot more people breathing on each other. So, and as this thing gets more and more exponentially, that means your odds of having somebody that's sick and has it are going to go up, because exponentially there's more people that are carrying it or that are shedding it, because there's going to be, this is a scary one, because think about it, it's not like Ebola where you go down and you're bleeding out of your ears and you're obviously sick and you obviously can't go anywhere, but you can't go anywhere, you can't spread it. With this thing, it's such a light grade type of a thing that you can walk around and be shedding this shit, and that's the danger in it. That's the danger in it, you know. And then what it's going to do to our older folks and our younger, it's going to be kind of like HIV. We're going to live with this one, folks. It ain't going to be done and gone tomorrow, I'll guarantee you. This is going to be a part of a society, because you're going to have to come up with a vaccine. And in our processes, we're going to push it through. It's going to be faster than it normally would be. But with our bureaucracy and the way our system works, everything's got to be friggin' go through all kinds of crap to get to the end result of any type of thing that's released, as far as drugs, vaccines, etc., in our health system. But that will all be expedited a lot faster because of getting through things up on Capitol Hill. They're going to be pushed to have to do that. They can't sit there and wait. They're going to have to push it through faster, but you still got to grow things in petri dishes. You still got to do things to acquire and to produce a vaccine. They got to find it first. It's going to be some time, if they can even get the vaccine. I mean, think about how long they've been dealing with HIV. They've learned how to kind of keep it suppressed and keep it down, but the people haven't gotten rid of HIV. They're still living with it in their systems. So in a nutshell, I'll go ahead and end this. We're not talking dog training right now because we got other things on our mind, but bottom line is, it's some scary shit. Who would ever thought that we'd be living in this type of thing that we see in the movies all the time, you know? Everybody thinks it's a fantasy, but we're living it now. And it's going to be interesting to see how society reacts as the panic builds and as the exponential goes up to not just maybe 100 in a day, but 250 in a day, like they've got in Italy. They're saying they had 250 deaths. I've got somebody that lives over there that's kind of doing the same thing, chattering at the screen, talking about his situation over there. And he looks like he's out in more of a suburban type of an area where he's out away from the main cities himself, so that's a good thing. It's an interesting factoid, to say the least, and I never thought that I'd see something like this in my lifetime, but this is what we call real life. Try to keep your head down, folks, and use common sense, you know. I forgot it, dang it. I've been taking wet wipes with me and making sure I wipe down everything I touch when I go out. Wiping my hands really good and trying to stay sanitized. I got a tub of wet wipes, those Clorox ones, supposed to kill 99.9% of germs. So, and I didn't bring it with me now. See, there's the example of living in habits and behavior. I don't have that habit and behavior to carry a tub of wet wipes with me everywhere I go. But one of the things I was thinking about was the reality is we need to wipe down things that don't get wiped down that often, that we touch in our society all the time. That would be the gas pump nozzle. You know, you go and you pump gas. How many people have touched that gas nozzle this morning before I even get there? So I will be asking for that when I get to the gas station. Hopefully they'll have them there, which is likely. They're thinking ahead themselves. I know that Stater Brothers is actually wiping their stuff down hourly. They have a guy in there with or whoever's been assigned to it with a towel and the disinfectant, and they're wiping all the surfaces down. And they're opening a little later so they can keep everything clean, and registers and everything are clean. They're closing a little earlier at 8 o'clock at night so they can do the same. So everybody's on it. We're all trying to make sure we stay healthy. But common sense is the most important thing. I'm going to try to keep hunkered down as much as I can unless I have to go out. Like right now, I've got to go out. I got to get dog food. I don't have a choice. I got to have gas. There's things that we need to do. So you can't avoid some of it, but I'm not going to be going out and congregating, that's for sure. I went to a restaurant the other night. I ordered to go, called it in, and went in and got it as quick as I could and got out, and I was surprised the place was packed. And now I'm hearing that they're starting to shut down restaurants and bars in our area, so that means you want to be able to go to a restaurant. Life is going to change for a few months, folks. That's what it's all about. I'll talk to you later. Mark Ferrasci with Protect Dog Training, talking about life instead of dog training. Hell of a thing. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.